Hello, I'm going to give you a feedback on your PowerPoint. Overall, this is a good PowerPoint. First slide, this is an opening slide or title slide, and you have a pretty good contrast, color contrast. I see little pixelations around the edges and the borders in the background picture. It's visible on the computer screen, but if you're projecting it to a projector screen, then that may not be visible. So I would say this is an acceptable image for the projector screen. This is a new term, so it's big. So you made it large. That's good. And concept with the definition. Again, the picture quality is not the optimum. So you might want to check if it's going to bother you on a projector screen or not. On a computer screen, you do notice a low image quality here. And you put the whole text here, whole definition here, because it's a definition, but more importantly because it is not too wordy, so I guess it would be okay to put the whole thing here. And you didn't make it too small. That's a good thing, actually. If you make it too small, so why you put it there, it's readable, large enough to read, so that's good. Text is large and images are large enough to see from the behind, and you put the images around the text, so there's a good spatial contiguity here, so there's no split attention problem. And I don't think you need to divide it into multiple slides either, because you're kind of using this slide as an opening slide for opening up the questions. What else are read? And the main part of lesson here is going to be a Q&A discussion. And this is just a little preview and also opening slide for that question Q&A session. So I think that's okay. You chose good characters here. You chose good images here. I'm sure kids know all these characters very well. Pikachu, Angry Bird, I'm not sure, but I've seen this before. And Toby. I don't play computer games, so I don't exactly know what that is, but it looks familiar. So I'm pretty sure kids know these characters, and it's always a good practice to tie new concepts with the learner's prior knowledge, and it helps with comprehension. In this case, it helps with memorization to recall, for later memory recall. So that kind of makes me think that you could actually use the same strategy or same technique for the red one too. Yeah, this is red, but shoes don't necessarily have to be red, and a flower either. So it might be a good idea to find some other pictures that are always red. And let's look at blue. Cookie Monster is always blue. And I guess most kids know the story Bluebird. And it's not exactly blue, but I guess it's okay for most people. I said most people. For some people, it might bring us some question. And secondary class, so design, graphic design is pretty good. What I noticed is this is total circle as opposed to oval shapes here. I wonder why they are different shapes. Usually consistency is a good thing, because if it's not consistent, there are new elements, and that adds extra cognitive load. But in this case, you are trying to distinguish between primary colors and the secondary colors, so different shapes might actually help differentiating and distinguishing these two groups of colors conceptually. That's an interesting approach if it works. Anyway, so that's just a thought, but in this case, I guess using two different kind of shapes is okay. So again, same design. I think that's a good idea. And orange, this is always orange. That's good. But if you kind of want to control the wild associations, like a green backpack yellow, if you want to kind of eliminate those possibilities, then you would use different items. You're asking what other things are orange, and you're showing the backpack. Backpacks are orange. No, not always. Bow tie, not always. My bow tie is like a black, so it's not true. So I guess it's better to pick something that's always orange instead of these items. Green. And they're always green, I guess. So That's a good. Those are good choice. And image quality is pretty good. This one's pretty high quality. And these are not as good, but I think they could be still acceptable. Pretty high quality image here, and these two. And again, I'm not really knowledgeable about flowers, so I can't really tell which flower it is. And when I think of flower, they're like a lot of purple is not the first color I think of when I look at the flower. So I don't know. That could be not the best choice, because you're asking what other things are violet, and you say, well, what's her name? Bernie it is. Yeah. So Bernie is purple always, so that's good. So you could find some other things that are purple always. When you ask what other things are violet, you can't really say high heels are violet, because their mother's high heels could be, beige, red, white, So that's not exactly the right choice, I guess. And same thing. My first color that comes to my mind when I think of flower is yellow, white, and red. So these are probably not the right kind of items to choose for violet. And for this one, image itself is not bad at all. Rather than asking students what this is about, the better approach might be creating an animation so that you show these, you hide the answers and have them guess what color it's gonna be, which secondary color it would be. So red plus yellow equals, and they're gonna guess this, and then show the right answer after the guessing session. Then do the same thing with these two. Of course, if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna have to separate. You're gonna have to have like you're gonna have 2 images for each. So this is gonna be one, and this is gonna be a separate image. You're gonna have to make yellow plus blue one image equals one, and then green a separate image. Same here. Blue plus red equals has to be one image, and violet has to be another image. Then you can do animation. Overall, it was pretty clean. Didn't violate the graphic design principles. Only thing I noticed was more about the strategy, or more about the educational psychology, not about the graphic design or multimedia learning principles. Take my suggestions into considerations and discuss what sorts of changes you want to make to this PowerPoint. I'm looking forward to what changes you're going to make to this PowerPoint.